Entering products in CartonCloud. Generally, when we have a fresh tenancy and we're adding in a new customer, what we would do is we'd add in the first product or maybe even the first two products in as manually. So now what I mean by manually is you would go into Warehouse, you would click on Products, and you would add a product by hitting the green button here. So this here is where we get the bones of what our product structure is going to be like. Now when I'm talking about product structure, I'm talking about the charge method, the product type, and bits and pieces like that. So here we have a new customer which I'm adding their first product in, and it's Tony's Orange Juice. And I'm going to add in their Tony's Orange Juice. Now the name of the product, and the customer has told me that this is going to be called empty cartons. Now the product code is the code which the customer has given me, and it's 0600 CTN. So within the product description, we can add in extra details and bits and pieces, and it might need that, that we want some extra data, extra information there, so that when we're building these products, we know, or if somebody needs to find out, they can go back. Generally, it's an optional sort of field. Here we have our product type. Now in the product type, we could put in things like where we've got chilled or furniture or dangerous goods or whatever it may be. This one is just going to be general. Storage charge method. Now a lot of people can get a bit confused when it comes to storage charge method because we have a few. The default charge method is per location. Now what this means is if I get in a heap of different cartons and they're all different SKUs, and I've only got a small warehouse and I put them into a rack location, and I don't want to charge for each individual SKU, I just want to charge the one location. So I can put multiple SKUs onto one pallet and put it into one location, and it will only charge my customer for that one pallet space. And this comes into play when I've got a small warehouse, and I've got a whole heap of different SKUs for one customer, but I don't want to lay them all over the warehouse in individual things. I want to look after my customer and bring them all in and have all of these SKUs just in, say, 10 pallets or whatever it may be. The other next charge method is per item. Now what per item means is I could have a pack of timber, and it may be that I just want to charge my 5.4 pack of timber in at $6 per week. So I could do it per item. Or I could say that if it's a carton, for instance, I only want to charge 8 cents per week for that carton. Volume based is based on cubic meters, i.e. for furniture and bits and pieces and bulky things like that. Weight based may be where we've got random meat products, or we have meat boxes, and they might be charged out at the kilo rates. Per location and bulk location pallets. Now this is very similar to per location, but there's a few little differences. The difference is that if I'm bringing in a full load of cartons and I don't want to split up those cartons, those pallets, and I want to just bring them in and say that I have a total of 6,000 cartons all going into a bulk location. What CartonCloud will do is it will take the count of the product into the factor when it goes and it works out the storage charges. So it will say, yes, we have this many cartons over there. It's in this many pallets, and it will charge it out. Now, if you need to know any finer detail with any of this, you just go straight through to our knowledge base and you put in charge methods or warehouse charging, and you will follow your nose and you'll find it from there. The other one is per pallet based on quantity. Now the way I explain this one is if I have 9 empty kegs, they will sit on a Shep pallet very easy, and it's a nice straight Shep pallet. So what I can do is I can put that in the system for a conversion for those nine kegs, and if I have 90 of them loose stacked over in the corner of my warehouse, CartonCloud will say, okay, we have 90 divided by 9, and I'm going to charge 10 pallet spaces for the week for that one. So with this product, I'm going to have it in as per location. Now I don't need to worry about the product volume or the weight in kilograms. Now I could put that in. If I wanted to have, the fact that it was 25 kilo bags, I could put that in, and I could put in the volume. measurement category. Measurement category generally we use as count, or if we had mass being the cubic or the volume. So furniture carriers will use mass, or furniture warehouses will use mass. A lot of the meat brokers and things will use volume, but for today we're going to use count. So this is where we come into our base unit of measure. So with this one, we're talking about bundles of cartons. So for me, it's just going to be a unit. If it was my cartons of orange juice, I could have it down as a carton. If I needed to add a new measure in here, I could come in here and, for instance, I could go that I actually want to have a pack. And I put in the code down here as a pack. Because these items, which I'm actually bringing in, are going to be a pack. So I'm going to add that measurement in there. So then I've got a pack. I can actually put in a barcode on the pack. Now, it may not mean much for empty cartons, but if I was to have an orange juice carton and it had a TUN number on the side, I could actually use that with my scanning device and use it so that CartonCloud can understand that is related to this product. But we're not going to worry about that at the moment. I'm going to go in and put in a conversion factor. And what I'm going to say is that my next conversion up is a pallet. And then it says, what is the conversion factor? So in other words, how many packs are you going to get onto this pallet? And I'm going to say for this one, I'm going to get 120 packs onto the pallet. Random weight means that, like I said before with the meat packers, if you've got a box of meat, that might be 19.5 kilos, the next one might be 21, and that's where you can actually have it in the mobile app. You can put in the random weighted products. Warning day thresholds and expiry thresholds, and even low stock notification. These are notifications which we can send off to the customer. And once again, if you need to find out any more finer detail, you can go to our knowledge base and have a look. But we can set these up so that after when we get down to a certain stock level, or when we get close to expiry dates, it sends off a notification. Initial status of purchase order. So what we can do is we can have it so that, for instance, if the product is coming in from overseas and we always want it to come in as a quarantine, we could have that. But for this product, for instance, it's locally made and we're going to say no, we're just going to have the status of okay. Stock selection method. First expiry, first out. Now, what happens is if I don't have an expiry date on my product and I leave this as first expiry, first out, it will always be looking for an expiry date. So the other methods we have are location efficiency, which is self-explanatory. We have first in, first out. So the first product in will be the first one out. So it rotates the stock. Or if I've got long, narrow aisles, I might want to have it so that it is last in, first out. Because the first one is right at the very back and I just want to grab my last one because it's packs of cartons and it doesn't really matter. So that's what I'm going to do on this product. Also, strict stock selection. I don't need to put that on this one. If I wanted to have it so that I wanted my barcode scanned and I wanted the location scanned, then I could put on strict stock selection. Sub-selection method is whether you want to minimize storage, minimize picks, or location efficiency. So if we have a small warehouse, I want to minimize the storage because I want to then be able to use them locations for other customers. If I had a large warehouse, it might be the fact that I want to minimize my picks because I don't want the guys driving all the way down to the other side of the warehouse to get certain products. Or whether we want to base it on location efficiency. Now for this one, we've only got a little small warehouse, so I'm going to say minimize storage. And then the expiry date, it's saying, we've got a few different options as per customer default setting, because in the customer default setting, we can turn it on that they need an expiry or they don't need an expiry. We can put it in so that it's optional for this product or it's required for this product. And I'm going to say for this one that it's only optional because I don't want to put in an expiry date for packs of cartons. And then we go down and save. What we then come to is the view product page. Now over here on the right hand side, we've put in a little measurement conversion calculator. Now what was happening is when you put in your first few products, you get a little bit antsy. Have I done it right? Do I know that I've got this conversion right? So what we can actually do is we can enter the quantity in here. So if I put in 120 packs and I hit the convert button, it actually tells me that 120 packs equals 1 pallet. So I know I've got it right. Now it may be that I have a unit and then a carton, and then a tier, and then a pallet. So I might want to make sure that I've got these. It's pretty simple when we've just got 2 conversions, but when you have many conversions, people just want to make sure that they've got it right. And then what you can do is you can just have a look over and make sure that you've got everything right. And that looks good.